It all started trending under one word: betrayal. The leaked video storm had already rocked the internet, but then things got worse. Another clip dropped online, shorter than the first one but 10 times more explosive. This time it showed Boosie screaming at T.I., veins bulging in his neck, his voice full of anger. "You sold us out. Not just to the feds but to the industry elites," he yelled. "You've been their puppet, their pawn." The video ended suddenly, cutting off in the middle of his rant, but it was enough to send the internet into chaos. Within minutes, Twitter was on fire. People debated everything: secret industry deals, Illuminati rumors, and the question that everyone wanted answered: was T.I. really part of something bigger? This was no longer just a feud between two rappers. To fans, it felt like T.I. versus the entire system. But through all the noise, T.I. stayed quiet. His team put out a short statement saying he was focused on clearing his name and moving forward with dignity. Yet, silence in today's digital world doesn't mean strength, it means weakness. Every moment T.I. stayed quiet, Boosie got louder. Every second he refused to answer, social media filled in the blanks with its own theories. By the end of the week, hashtags like #BoosieExposedTI and #FreeTheReceipts were everywhere. You couldn't scroll without seeing their names. And the fallout was brutal. T.I.'s family reality show, once a proud symbol of his family man image, became a target. Viewers demanded answers. Sponsors quietly started backing away. How could the man who built a brand on loyalty and love get caught in this kind of storm? Meanwhile, Boosie, the man who used to get roasted for being too wild, suddenly looked real to people. His rawness was now called authenticity. He went live on Instagram almost every day, throwing shade, laughing, and turning the chaos into promotion for his next album. It looked like if T.I. was falling, Boosie was ready to climb higher using his ashes. But behind the scenes, whispers began spreading. People close to the industry warned that Boosie might have gone too far. Because T.I. wasn't just another rapper. He was connected. He had business partners, political ties, and friends in powerful places. "Don't count Tip out," one insider warned. "He knows where all the skeletons are buried. If he starts talking, it won't just be Boosie going down. It'll be half the industry." And that's when things turned dark. Rumors broke that prosecutors were digging deeper, looking into whether the fight, the leaked clips, and the money trail were part of something bigger, a possible RICO case. If that was true, this wasn't just about a street fight or social media beef. This was about organized crime, racketeering, and maybe even a web of corruption that could pull down entire labels and legacies. Atlanta, already scarred by big-name rap indictments, held its breath. Fans were hooked but nervous. Nobody knew how deep this went. And right in the middle of all this chaos was King Harris, T.I.'s son. His arrest record had already made headlines, and now his name was tied to a scandal that was way bigger than him. Blogs, YouTube channels, and gossip pages twisted his story in every direction. Some said King was just a lost kid caught in the crossfire. Others painted him as a spoiled celebrity son who thought his last name made him untouchable. Memes spread like wildfire. One even called him King of Cell Block D. The internet, as always, showed no mercy. While all this was happening, T.I. began to crack. One night, he went live from his mansion, pacing back and forth, sweat glistening on his forehead. His voice trembled between rage and pain. "Y'all think this about a fight," he said. "Nah, this about power. They trying to erase my name, my family, my legacy. But I ain't folding. Never have, never will." That clip alone racked up millions of views. Some said he sounded unhinged. Others said he sounded like a man finally telling the truth. But just when people thought the drama couldn't get any crazier, another leak dropped. An audio recording of what sounded like a phone call between King Harris and Boosie's son. The audio was scratchy but clear enough to send chills down people's spines. There were threats, insults, and a strange moment where King allegedly said, "I don't even know who's watching you." Was it real? Was it fake? Nobody cared. The internet treated it like gospel. Suddenly, King wasn't just a reckless kid anymore. He was part of something darker. A story of spying, betrayal, and setups. Boosie, of course, jumped on it immediately. He reposted the clip, laughing hard. "That boy sound guilty as hell. That's y'all Prince? That's y'all King? Man, please." His fans flooded the comments with laughing emojis. T.I.'s supporters clapped back. accusing Boosie of creating a smear campaign to destroy a man's name. The whole thing wasn't about the fight anymore, it was about. Then came the legal storm. Court documents leaked showing prosecutors were exploring charges that went far beyond assault. There were whispers of witness tampering, hidden money, and shady business links between both camps. It was messy, dramatic, and perfect for the news cycle. Even CNN ran a short story about it, connecting hip-hop culture, fame, and the justice system. That's when people realized this was no longer just a music story. It was a national story. Meanwhile, King Harris's world fell apart. The same friends who once hyped him up started to disappear. His circle got smaller every day. Nobody wanted to be dragged into a case that was turning uglier by the hour. Alone and frustrated, King started posting cryptic late-night messages on Instagram. Things like "trust nobody" and "everybody fake." Every post added fuel to the fire. Fans wondered, was he breaking down or waking up to how fake the industry really was? While King struggled, record labels and media outlets circled like vultures. Insiders claimed rival labels were using the chaos to recruit new artists, promising them they'd never end up like him. Even rappers outside Atlanta started chiming in. Some offered support, while others threw subtle jabs. One famous rapper dropped a freestyle saying, "Snitches wear crowns, princes locked down." Fans instantly connected the dots. He was talking about T.I. and King. It was open season on the Harris name. Older hip-hop fans started to get worried. They'd seen this story before. How fame and ego destroy people, how young rappers fall into the same traps over and over. "We're watching the South's golden era eat itself alive," one critic wrote. And honestly, maybe they were right. But then came the scariest twist yet. Another leak. This one wasn't a fight or a phone call. It was a video, allegedly showing King in a private moment saying things that could expose his father, their business empire, and several industry figures. No one could The internet didn't wait for the truth. It crowned the clip real instantly. The fallout was immediate. Sponsors backed out of deals. Streaming services quietly pushed T.I.'s projects out of the spotlight. Public opinion turned harsh, calling the Harris family fake, preaching morals while living a double life. And through it all, Boosie kept laughing. He went live again, mocking T.I. and celebrating the attention. But insiders whispered that even Boosie was getting nervous now. Because if the prosecutors were really digging deep, he had reasons to worry too. Old cases, past grudges, and unfinished business, it could all come back. And one thing about the feds, once they start digging, they don't stop until everyone's buried. Now the entire hip-hop world is watching and wondering, who survives this? Will King Harris become another tragic story? A young man destroyed by fame, scandal, and bad choices? Will T.I. somehow rebuild his image and expose the people who tried to destroy him? Or will his legacy be permanently stained by the chaos around him? And what about Boosie? Will his loud mouth finally catch up with him? Or will he keep turning controversy into clout? At this point, every post, every leak, every blurry video could change everything. This isn't music news anymore. It's a battlefield. A blood sport where reputations are weapons and silence can kill faster than a headline. Because once the internet decides you're guilty, there's no going back. The next scandal could end careers. The next tape could bury legacies. The next confession could burn the entire game down. And that's the truth. This isn't just about King Harris's arrest. It's about an empire cracking under its own secrets. It's about Boosie daring to challenge a giant. It's about a culture that feeds on drama, where downfall equals entertainment. And the craziest part? The story isn't over. Not even close. So the question remains, how many more scandals will explode before